What's up, guys? See if this is going to work well in the sun or not. And we'll give it a try, right? I'm going to take just a walk around this property. Yeah, so another video today. Today I want to talk about just experience, consciousness, life. Kind of dive into a bunch of different aspects on this. So it's pretty widely expected to, at a young age, to go to education camps, schooling, whatever you want to call it. And it's widely expected to go to school and learn what they want you to know or understand. And throughout your experience, your childhood, you can't really be a child at all times. You have to sit down, shut up, and learn. And if you're not learning, they throw you drugs to calm you down and destroy your consciousness so you cannot experience that in which you want to as a child, which is playtime, typical experiences that you want to experience, like fun, play with other kids, etc. But you're unable to do so, what is that, 9-10 months out of the year? Depending on where you live. I live in America. So, when you get older, you're expected to get a job, usually while you're still in high school. So, not only are you trying to pass high school and try to get your education, which is all expected of you, on top of that, you're additionally adding levels of work. So let's say you're working a 5-hour shift after work or after school. You're up at 6 a.m., 6:30. You're at school all day. Get out at 2:30. Go home, shower, whatever you got to do real quick. Get a quick meal in you. Then go out to work till 8 o'clock at night. And you're repeating this Monday through Friday. Not leaving any time for yourself to experience life. Then you go to college. You generally would want a part-time job at least. Just gets you some sort of income. Not everyone's lucky enough to have rich parents that want to bless their children with some money. So you got to work for yourself. And that's what life is generally experienced these days, is that you go to school, you go to work when you're young, which is the most crucial time for a young person to instill happiness in their life. If you're a happy child, you generally will become a happy adult. And I don't mean like the occasional smile happy. I mean the to get schooling and such like that, schooling and work and jobs and worrying about things and stress, trying to pass tests, you know, that sort of mentality would wear you down and create an unstable effect for your future and who you are. It disrupts who you are, and the experience that you're going to experience will be afflicted and manipulated through your past experiences. So as you're becoming who you are, and that happiness and joy that you're supposed to experience as a natural human being, look at kids without schooling. Look how happy they are. Look how, you know, before the age of 4 or 5, before they go to preschool, look how happy they are. Look at what they want to experience. They have love and joy and happiness in them. Then they go to schooling, and it all gets displaced. Sorry, I was looking for, I'm in a blackberry bush area. I was looking to see if there's any ripe blackberries, which I haven't seen any, which is strange. I mean, I was here just a couple weeks ago and they had tons of blackberries. Anyways, so you're expected things these days, and that's schooling and work. Oh, look, a bullfrog. I love nature. I usually walk or jog around this property just to kind of enjoy myself, kind of experience things that you're supposed to experience in life, nature. Be at one with your surroundings and your environment rather than the concrete jungle. But that's sort of the point that I'm trying to get at here, is that life is something to be experienced on your terms, not what is expected of you. Just because everyone around you is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because it is expected of you to do something like work and go to school doesn't mean that you have to. You don't have to fall into that pressure. You should be able to live life how you want. And there's other aspects to life that are better in retrospect of schooling. There's such things as called unschooling. And with unschooling, you can learn on your own terms, your own speed, and the topics that you want to learn, instead of being provided those things. What topic, what you learn, what education is based around, math, stuff like that, science, history. Another bullfrog. So there's other aspects to this that are going to be better and more on your terms. Learn at your own pace. You can learn plumbing at the age of 5 if you want to. You can learn a lot of things. And doing such, you can put yourself into an aspect of learning what you want and becoming what you want at a very young age. There's a video, I think you can probably find it on YouTube or Netflix or something like that. Probably YouTube. Where Tupac Shakur was 17 years old and he was getting interviewed. And he said that even schooling should be based on your terms. He said that, and this is him at 17, just to give you an example of his actual genius and his smarts and his wits. He's saying that when you're young, you should pick the topics that you want to learn. The classes, you should be able to decide what you want to learn, just like in college. You should be doing that in grade school. So if you're in 6th grade and you're learning something and you don't like what you're learning, in 7th grade you switch it up. You don't have to wait until you're 18 in college to do this. You can start learning what you want, what you're interested in at a very young age. And that's where unschooling takes effect. Instead of providing specific topics and ideas to manage what you experience in life and how you experience it, as a kid, you should be able to pick the topics. You should be able to pick what you want to learn and ichnay that in which you don't want to learn. Just because in 5th grade you wanted to learn something and then you decided, well, I don't want to learn this, doesn't mean you can't switch it up the next year or the year after or the year after, or even when you're an adult if you didn't learn it already. We all have different experiences, and the age of information, it's not like you're actually being left behind. You can pick and choose, and you can actually put a joy in this, a joy into what topics you like, what courses you want to take. You can learn and enjoy doing such rather than being forced to. So there's other ways to go about this. One of the things that bothers me is that people aren't talking about this. That there's other types of options out there, like unschooling. And I think that's one of the biggest problems right now, is that people are uniform in you're born, you're vaccinated, then you go to school, public, education. You do that for 12 years, then you go to college. You have a job part-time to get you through college. Then when you're getting through college, you're all this debt. And then after all this debt, you are trying to get married and have a good job to pay back this debt. That's not what life is. That's what they want your life to be. So your first 30 years to 35 years of life is not experienced the way that it should be. Not on your terms. As a kid, this is the time frame when you're young to get your things done. To have your happiness and joys and experiences when you're young. Now there's a lot of flies around me, so I'm trying to keep walking. That's why I'm kind of out of breath a little bit. But there's a saying, and I hope I don't butcher this because I haven't said it in quite a number of years. When you're young, you have all the energy, all the time, but no money. And then when you're middle-aged, you have all the energy, you have all the money, but no time. Then when you're old, you have all the time and money, but no energy. I hope that hits you deep. There's a lot of horseflies and deer flies and such on me. So I'm going to start walking again. Life is to be experienced on your terms. No one should be able to direct your life, your experiences, your passions for you. And because of things like unschooling, where you get to decide on your own terms, it increases your ambition, it increases your pride, and your goals are going to be matched on your terms, not on the curriculum of the state. And I think the best thing in life is to better yourself. And the best way to do that is to do things on your own terms. Not competing with other people, not competing with others, examinations, test scores, etc. This should be done on your level, your time, and how you want, on your terms. The only person you should be better than is the one in the mirror yesterday. And your experiences in life can be altered on how you see things. Your perception is based on belief and opinion. Belief and opinion happens from external sources and your own thought. Your life and your perception of life to do this has been influenced by external sources, such as all of that which consumes the matrix, which spins the wheels of the matrix and the rulers behind it. They don't want people like me out there. They don't want people capable of critical thought. They want people to believe this is what life is supposed to be. So they stay rich, you stay poor, and you don't get to experience life the way they can, on their terms. Anyways, life is a beautiful thing. When I'm a father, which I'm not right now, but when I am, I'm totally going to give all the power to my children. I'm going to have them grow up at a much faster rate, much happier rate, and on their terms. I'm going to unschool my children. I'm not going to let them be indoctrinated to this life of slavery. Mainly because I care. Mainly because of the childhood that I was brought up in, was education camps, slavery, working hard for minimum wage, $5 an hour. That's how I grew up. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, to work so hard for so little. So, I want to influence you guys to do the same. Understand that life is fragile and you're being manipulated. Your children are being manipulated. And for what? Little gain? Life is about experience. Experience trumps money all the time. If you have a $4,000 in your bank account and you have the choice of paying rent that month or going on vacation, what would you do? You can pay your rent, have some money left over, or you can go on a vacation down to Florida from wherever you're living now and stay there for a month for $4,000 or whatever, right? You can figure out something and have a great time doing so. Or you can go camping and pay your rent. That'll even be cheaper. You have money. Think about how you're spending it. Think about if it's worth it for you to conjure up this money, if it's that important for you, or is your experiences more worth it? Are you working 7 days a week? I know I do. Not right now, but I'm getting back into trucking. Next week. So I'm gonna be back into it, working hard for that money so I can make sure that my children have a better life, so I can be around them. It's my passions. It's what I want to experience. And during the summertime, I want to enjoy it. Because summer where I'm from now, where I moved to, it's only 2 months out of the year. So you got to enjoy it. Alright guys, I hope you guys kind of got something out of this. I hope that you guys think about this, because I think it's rather important to understand the experiences trump money. It trumps what they want you to do. Your path is yours alone. No one should be able to manipulate that or to force you to experience a specific portion of life that is generally based on slavery. I'm an anarchist, if you couldn't tell. I'm 100% towards making sure that I can do what I want as long as I'm not hurting nobody. No rulers. Alright guys, make another video tomorrow. See ya.